And we're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's V the Grill Economist, and I'm chomping on some 4505 chicharrones. And I'm not getting paid for this either. It is the most delicious pork rinds. See, I love this pork rinds, bro. It's just so good. And with us, Grandpa Simpson, a.k.a. Gus Demos. Folks, Gustavo is here with us again. It's Cuss with Gus. And if you haven't done so already, go check him out, perpetualassets.com. If you're terrified that the coronavirus is going to infect your 401k and turn it into a 101k with severe upper market failure, then you need to contact Will Lear or Gus Demos, but most preferably Will because he's the nicer one, rather than Gus, because Gus will, God knows what Gus will say. But anyway, go there, perpetualassets.com. He'll get you into Bitcoin, he'll get you into gold, he'll get you into anything that you want him to get you into. And minus any extracurricular activities and all the other bad habits that Gus has. But Perpetual Assets is the place, folks. Go there, get it done. And the best part is, listen, Gus's philosophy is grab life by the balls. You need to grab your retirement by the balls, and it don't matter if you're a man or a woman. Everybody's got balls, and you need some. With that being said, Gus, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Dude, all I have in this world is my balls and my word. So
That's it, brother.
It's such a great fucking quote. There's I just sent a YouTube thing about why I named Grandpa Simpson, just because Biden, dude, I can't believe they have, speaking of balls, I can't believe they have the balls to put him up. He's got dementia. I mean, he's going senile. I can't believe they're.
Did you hear him at the acceptance speech where he thought his sister was his wife? Then he called himself and I'm Joe's husband. He called himself his own husband.
Dude, they're not even. Well, the media is trying to cover it up as gaffes. So these are just little gaffes. They're not gaffes yet. He doesn't know where the fuck he is. He has dementia. Like these aren't. And my grandmother suffered from it, but she wasn't running the country with the nuclear codes. It accelerates at different paces depending who it is. By Labor Day, he could be a complete fucking zombie. Like I can't believe it's a big dice roll by these motherfuckers. They know, of course they know. I mean, but you'll never on CNN or MSNBC or New York Times, they'll just say gaffes, where certain Tucker and certain other people will actually say, dude, this guy's cognitive function is slipping. I mean, he's literally got you could see it. It's clear as day. It's the sister wife thing was tip of the iceberg shit. 2 days ago, he was like sniffing a baby or something. The set running for Senate, couldn't quote Jefferson a couple days ago. Like, it was just, he's a fucking mess, dude. He's a fucking mess. I can't believe. You almost feel bad, but you don't. It's like I don't know. It's ballsy for them to do it. Very ballsy.
Yeah. Well, did you hear about the story about his encounter with the hardcore gang member named Corn Pop?
No, what?
He had a harrowing encounter with a leader of a gang, and that leader's name was Corn Pop. Because you know, guys, CJ, Gus, we know that the most hardcore gang member or gang leader will call himself Corn Pop.
It's very masculine. It's very masculine. Corn Pop.
I learned a lot. And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and they weren't allowed to. There was a 3-meter board. If you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight racers. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pool filter is. You know the chain? There used to be a chain that went across the deep end.
Christ.
And he cut off a
Gets
6
worse.
foot length of chain. He folded up. He said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, you used to remember the straight race. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in the rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you, Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
That was his harrowing encounter with the gang leader Corn Pop. See, because he was able to face Corn Pop, he's able to stand up to Vladimir Putin.
He's just, dude. I kind of like dialed out like 30 seconds into that story just because he sounds like the old that you have respect for, because he sounds like the old relative who at a holiday who doesn't know what he's talking. Like he's way past. Dude, he's got dementia. He doesn't know what the fuck. Corn Pop, razor, rusty. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking insane, bro.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking. Where when it's a family and you're dealing with it on a holiday, you're like, oh yeah, everyone be respectful and stuff. But not about running the most powerful country on earth. It's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yeah, there's a baby from like yesterday. He's still doing the same shit. He was like blowing on the baby or sniffing it or something.
Oh my god, let me see that.
I don't know where the fuck it is. Someone had a post like, there's Biden sniffing a baby. They're like, how long ago was this? Like some liberal trying to call him out. How long ago was this? Be like, 3 minutes ago. It's like it just happened. Dude, he's lost his fucking mind. He has no fucking idea.
Crazy.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, I can't believe they got the fucking nerve to put him up there for the next 6 months. And they how the fuck is this guy going to debate Trump? Like Trump, dude, put this guy in Trump's jaws. Trump's going to fucking eat him. Like literally, like he's going to fucking just chew him and spit him out. Am I wrong? I mean, this guy doesn't know.
Listen to this. Here we go.
It's good to be home.
This is where he talks about inappropriate touching. Listen to this.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, thank you. No, as they say in parts of my old neighborhood in Scranton, you guys brung me to the dance.
Bring him over
really
the
did.
dance.
And I just want you to know I had permission to hug Lonnie.
He's making fun of his own creepiness, and then he goes out and he's sniffing kids right afterwards.
Yeah. He's trying to own this the fucking molester behavior.
Oh God.
Yeah. So he looks like he's going to get the guy. They stole it, and I'm kind of torn, man. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the fact that even the Democratic establishment has a problem with the commie. Like, part of me is like, God, they stole it from the commie. This whole thing is so fucking jacked up, rigged.
Oh, it's hilarious. You know what they did, Gus? They blew their head off to spite their nose. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
What are the Bernie Bros going to do, Gus?
That's the question. That's the real. That's the real question. I heard. I was listening to people last night talk about it, and I would say, and the funniest thing I heard was, if you own property in Milwaukee, sell it and get the fuck out of there. They're going to burn the city down at the convention. That's what I think. I think you're going to see. And I was even joking around with Will like yesterday as the results were coming in. I was like, man, forget about the virus, dude. The fucking Antifa commie Bernie Bros might start rioting and looting in the next couple of weeks or whatever. Like if they have a clear indication that we all piled up against you guys, fuck you. Like, dude, they're gonna
already, man.
Yeah,
they're already spreading through the interwebs. They're still because the super delegates. That's why they all know why Pete Buttplug and Amy Klobuchar, whatever her name is, right? Why they backed out. they backed out because they were in promised positions in a Biden presidency, which is a
100%.
snowball's chance in hell.
100%. That's what they got. Yeah,
and so they gave the super delegates over to Biden. So now the people are like, wait a minute, we can't even vote for our candidates, and the DNC has the gall to look its voters in the eye and says, yes, we pick for you.
Yeah,
it's insane.
What you guys want is irrelevant at the end of the day. That's exactly what they're telling them. And
right.
So there's two conversations. The first conversation is, what the fuck do these oligarchs in the DNC, like even the corporate fucking masters that go Democrat, what did, after 4 years of media propaganda about how awesome socialism is and identity politics and all that bullshit, and then after 10, 20 years of academics brainwashing, universities brainwashing these fucking kids, are they really that shocked that this fucking 80-year-old commie is fucking popular amongst kids? Of course, I mean, they shouldn't be. They're like, oh, and that's the first conversation. The second conversation is, are these basement-dwelling commies smart enough or aware enough to realize, God, this whole thing's been a scam? Like, and what is their reaction if they are? And again, you would think that they would forget about Trump getting elected. If they give it to Biden at the convention, you would think they would start looting and rioting. That would be if I had to bet the safest money on what's going to happen, there's going to be looting. Dude, they almost attacked, the vegans almost tried to get Biden yesterday on the stage.
I know.
They attacked Grandpa Simpson yesterday on stage, dude. Like,
my God.
So yeah, if Vegas opened up that line and saying, what are the chances they'll be rioting and looting in Milwaukee, I would put money on that. These kids do it no matter what. And
you notice his wife was protecting him?
And the wife and the sister had to step in. Right, yeah.
That tells you how invalid he is, man.
Dude, he doesn't know where the fuck he is.
No,
and that there was a few things that are like, oh, he sounds so good the last 4 days because he's reading off a script. It's like, that's the new benchmark for our demo. This is the best you guys have to offer. Like a guy with dementia. This is the best you have, really.
There is one twist that you could potentially consider. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. Is that the plan is to at least get him into the DNC as the front runner, knowing darn well that his health situation, that he's not going to make it through the full candidacy as far as a president. And I think that's why we got to be very mindful of who he would select as a running mate, because that might be the plan.
That's if I'm being honest, bro, I don't think that's tinfoil hat at all. I think the running mate tells me everything. So if you look at, I don't think that's tinfoil hat at all. So if they're like, all right,
here you go right here.
Would it be, it's not going to be Michelle Obama, no fucking way.
I don't know, dude.
No fucking way. It would be, I heard good theories floated around. I heard Kamala Harris. The establishment, the oligarchs love that crazy bitch from California. I've heard her as a possible, she meets multiple checkboxes, woman, black, blah, blah, blah. So the oligarchs love that bitch too. She's total prosecutor, Tulsi Gabbard, the girl, the bitch that Tulsi destroyed. They love her. Dude, the ultimate fucking move would be a Hillary. That would be the ultimate fucking move.
Here's one reason, and I know it makes absolutely no sense to us in regards to a running mate like Michelle Obama. But if the DNC and their followers are going to need something to calm down stealing once again the primary from Bernie, I think Michelle's a perfect play. I think that really calms them down to say, oh, wait a minute, we're going to get an Obama back in the office. Just think that through a little bit. I really think that very well could tone that whole split convention thing down and calm down the huge Bernie supporters to think that they're going to get their Messiah's wife back in office.
My angle with the Michelle Obama thing has kind of been like you have to have accomplished or held or done something. So everyone's like,
Michelle Obama's a dead ticket. She's nowhere to go. They can't bring Hillary. They're screwed.
Yeah,
they literally have, like, it doesn't matter who's Biden's running mate. It doesn't matter.
If I had,
They have nobody. They have nobody.
Let's do it now, boys. Now that I'm a Vegas local, let's do it now. $5. $5 a guy. Who's the Biden running mate? $5 a guy. I'm going. My money's on Harris. I'll go Kamala Harris.
That's a strong play. I'm gonna stick to my guns and say it's gonna be Michelle.
V. We're waiting on you, bro.
It's going to be. I'm with. I'm
Warren.
I'm gonna say Hillary.
You're gonna say Hillary.
I'm gonna say Hillary.
It's not correct. If I know one thing, it's gotta be oligarch establishment blessed. So if you look at who the media has tried to, who the media would sign off on. No, dude. Well, that's the only reason I can't like Michelle. Yeah, everyone loves Michelle Obama, blah blah. But everyone, these fucking retards. Everyone loves fucking Miley Cyrus too. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't think Michelle. We've never seen Michelle do anything other than be fucking Obama's fucking pretend her husband's not gay.
I'm thinking more terms in like the actual person is more than the action, or what are they going to need to do to unite the party, to unite the people who adamantly follow Bernie, right? And I just got this feeling that Hillary Clinton doesn't do that. I don't think that she unites the party at all. I think she's just as much as rejected as any candidate else. I think she'd already be running. And
you're thinking from the unity angle. I'm thinking from the Dick Cheney angle. Like, Biden is so fucking gone that he basically would just be a total puppet figurehead. So they got to put the real boss. They got to put the real choice behind Biden, because Biden is such a chump. Biden's just out there right now because, dude, they know he's got the man. They're not fucking stupid. If we could fucking see it, these motherfuckers. You don't think Jeff Bezos could fucking see it? He's like, yeah, this motherfucker's not going to do. I would think that the VP, they're going to tell him exactly who he's putting in there for VP, because that's why I use the Dick Cheney thing. They're less worried about unity and more worried about who's really going to be running shit.
Hey, Gaslit brought up a great point, and I've heard this from 2 or 3 different sources, that in the event that play does go in where Biden does pick a very strong female candidate, that I really do think if that comes into play, I really think that we could see Trump dump Mike Pence and put Haley on the ticket.
When's the last time that happened, though? Like 150 years?
Yeah, but how unpredictable is Trump, though, right? I mean,
that's true. True.
I mean, he put Pence in charge of the whole coronavirus thing, and
the whole. Let me just clarify this. And a lot of people saying that he put Pence in charge of the coronavirus. That whole system of where a vice president runs a pathogenic outbreak was actually done way before Trump. I think it was during the Obama years. It was actually put together by 2 Democrat senators. It was Senator who was that guy? The sleepy guy from Connecticut, Joe Lieberman. Lieberman and Tom Daschle. Those are the guys who created the system. So that system's always been in place, of having a vice president run a national crisis such as a pathogen outbreak, because it streamlines a lot of the bureaucracy. So at the end of the day, it is a direct link from the head of the CDC to Pence to Trump.
Yeah, I the Nikki Haley thing. Maybe Trump would. I don't know. It's a
Haley's not coming back.
Ditching of sitting VPs a big. Like, I don't think.
No, he's not going to ditch Pence. That's stupid. He's not going to ditch Pence at all.
I don't.
People like Pence. Pence is a supporter of Trump. He goes along with it.
I don't think it's been done since a fucking Greek was vice president with Nixon, and where he had no fucking choice. Where the motherfucker's about to go to jail, he had no choice. But and then replaced him with Ford. But that was extreme circumstances. Dude, who the fuck knows, man? These are crazy fucking times. It would be. I don't know. We'll see. The Trump ticket. The issue is, I think the whole thing, and this is kind of beating a dead horse, the whole thing comes down to 8 states at this point, right? It's the Midwest. It's Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. I think Ohio's locked down. Fuck that. Pennsylvania, I think, and maybe you can argue. I don't even know if Florida's in play anymore, dude. I think Trump is so fucking solid in Florida now. I do.
The 2020 elections are done. Donald Trump's already won. He's won. He's slaughtered these guys. It's done. I mean, look at Bloomberg. He came in, spent over $500 million, and he won American Samoa. He won American Samoa.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious. They were joking around. He paid like $1 million a vote or something.
Oh my god.
The danger is if the Biden with someone else, whoever, again, and we could talk about.
There is no danger, man. There's no danger.
Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. Those are the three states I'd watch the most.
Yeah, there's no danger. What's going to happen? You got in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Those are Bernie bro hangouts, bro. Those are Bernie bro. We're tired of the establishment. We want more progressive. We need workers. They're more populist now, right? The amount of people that these idiots have alienated by like basically coordinate. The coronation, excuse me, of Biden as already the presumptive nominee. It has alienated a good chunk of their voting bloc that now it feels completely, dude, this is going to fracture the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is going to fail bad in the 2020 elections. And then after the 2020 elections, the Democratic Party will split in two. It will be the Democratic Party, the old establishment, and you could see the emergence of a progressive wing. Who knows? Maybe they'll call it the Democrat, the DSA, USA. Who knows? Maybe there'll be another wing, a more far left wing, more populist wing of the Democratic Party. That's what you're going to see emerging. But them as a party, they're done. The stupidest thing they could have done, if they were smart, they would have ran Bernie, made him the presumptive nominee, make him win, and then cut funding so you don't fund against him and he winds up losing. He'll lose against Trump anyway, right? But the fact that they've alienated Bernie, they've put in Joe Biden, who doesn't even know where he is, who literally makes up stories of places he's never been to or people he's never even met. They choose this guy to run up against somebody who is the absolute master behind a podium, and that's Donald Trump. Joe Biden's going to be an embarrassment. So what they've done is they effectively they've blown off their head despite their nose guys. With Bernie, all they had to do is not fund the guy, let him fail, and then come back in because Bernie's already 78 years old, right? He's not going to run again. This is it, and basically buy the time. But now they've alienated Bernie. They picked Biden. They're done.
Well, here's why I think your theory has some legs, because these Ilhan Omar, this AOC, whatever the fuck her name is, they are some power hungry skanks where they want to challenge establishment. Well, like AOC, that's how she got in, and she was trying to challenge people in Texas, establishment Democrats in Texas with her, her own identity.
She failed miserably.
Totally, yeah, totally. So that you may have a point. I don't know. The question is, are these socialists fucking little commies? Are they going to leave voluntarily or start their party, or are the Democrats going to stop putting up with their shit and paying them lip service? Like where Pelosi and Biden and the real power is like, you know what? Fuck you, bitches. Like enough. Fuck off. Take your commie bullshit and go fuck yourselves. But I don't think the Democrats would ever want to ditch that commie youth vote. So it might be the socialist power grabbing, like going for more power. Like fuck you, we're gonna splinter off, kind of like Libertarian Party did. Like they splintered off. Like we don't need the Republicans. Fuck you. Maybe the commies would do that. They just splinter off and say, yeah, we'll start our own third party. Or who? From our standpoint, that'd be a good thing. They split that fucking vote, and good. Maybe.
I said, V, a couple months ago. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? A couple months ago, I thought that it was a sealed deal, that there was, Trump was definitely, he had already sealed the re-election. I think the corona is a very interesting factor with all things considered in regards to how Trump looks in the economy. And these sycophants, these bastards are fighting this administration every step of the way. A perfect example is few days ago, they signed the peace agreement, the preliminary peace agreement with the Taliban, right? Pompeo, they celebrated that as a win for the administration. The Afghanistan war was coming to an end. And what did those bastards do? Whoever did it, they launched an attack on the Taliban just yesterday to disrupt the entire. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. These sycophants are hell bent on any type of news that comes out that's positive, turning it around. Yeah, there was a strike, and now like the entire peace deal is probably off the table because these sycophants, they want these continued wars. It's just insane.
Guys, we need to get to look. There's a point where we got to forget about. I think we're coming to a point that there's such a damn fifth column, Gus and CJ, in this country that you have such a fifth column that they are actively working against the best interests of the United States of America and its citizenry. I think the time has come. There has to be some laws somewhere on the books. Maybe somebody out there who's listening is a constitutional expert or a law scholar, but there has to be a point where the very normalcy and modality of law, where you have to pursue these people in a legal and lawful way, has to get thrown out the window. There has to be a time where you have to send Delta Force right through their front door and put a lead round directly into their foreheads. That's what needs to get done at this point.
Yeah, but so that's why where someone, when you use the word, and it's subjective, obviously, but when you use the word normal, no normal person can observe what's happened in this country the last 20 years and say, God, these motherfuckers are all in it together. What a fucking, doesn't matter if it's fucking Clinton, Bush, Obama, like those three, that stretches what, 24 years. That 24-year stretch are like, God, these motherfuckers, it's all a scam. It doesn't matter if it's fucking perpetual war or the fucking economics and money supply. It doesn't matter what it is, right? But that's why the liberals have done such a good job of indoctrinating the youth and then importing third world fucking peasants. So they indoctrinate the youth with communism is good, communism is good, communism is good, and then they import all these fucking welfare queens from whatever fucking country in the world, and that's why you have all this fucking chaos going on. I mean, dude, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. If you don't think fucking trannies and drag queens brainwashing 5-year-old kids is fucked up.
Did you see the video of that little girl who was at a birthday party and they had some drag queen?
And the adults.
Dude, those parents need to get they need to get fucking beat down. God, there's no other word for it.
But if I would have taken you,
CJ, can you pull that video up?
Give me a minute.
If I would have taken someone 15 years ago, put them in a time capsule, and let them out now, would they be like? Holy shit! The United States has lost its fucking mind.
Yeah.
And
what's the commonality to the decline of the West? There's two groups that are the useful idiots for the destruction of entire Western civilization. There's two of them, Gus. Can you name them?
I honestly, you know who I blame the most?
Who?
This is going to be a fucking beta cucks.
Yep.
Beta cucks.
Women and beta cucks, bro.
Yeah.
Feminazis and beta cucks.
Yeah.
Ruined the whole entire thing.
I've said it before that at the end of the day, women are the majority of people, the population, whatever it is, 50.5 or 51% of the population is female.
Look at this shit. Oh my God.
Can you?
If I was there, I'd walk in and I'd kick this dude right in the ribs and put him right through the table.
Dude, look at the
guys. Look at the little baby
cheering. Yeah, look at them.
If that's the mom, I'd turn that bitch around and slap her.
Dude, look at these people cheering. It's like a 4-year-old little girl in a drag.
This is disgusting. This is what it's all about. It's about getting the kids, man.
This is Sodom and Gomorrah end of day shit. Like this shit.
Yeah.
This shit makes me believe in the Old Testament. Like we need a flood or fire. Like
give me a virus.
But that. So when we I was watching the numerous YouTube channels last night during the election results come in, and it was a lot of debating culture versus politics. The culture is sick. When you see shit like this, I can't. This makes me vomit in my mouth. The culture's just fucking sick. It doesn't matter as a man. I don't give a fuck if you're an Arab man, a Hispanic man, a black man, a white man. If you can't view that and be like, holy fuck, they're going after our kids, I got no use for you, dude. Like I have no use. Yeah. So when you're like, whose fault is it? It's the fucking beta cuck's fault, man. Like if I got no, I view a beta cuck on zero self-respect, zero balls, zero. They're not men. They're fucking like the perfect the illustration of like the textbook beta cuck is Chris Hayes on MSNBC.
Dude, he doesn't even look like puberty has even touched his baby face.
They want everyone to look like him. They want everyone. That's their ideal, ideal of a man. Like, oh, this is what we need the entire population to be. So it doesn't matter if you're fucking what part of the country you live in, what your background is. If you are a fucking man and seeing these fucking drag queens and trannies go after kids, if that doesn't fucking make you want to roll up your sleeves and start throwing people into oncoming traffic, I got no use for you. You're not a man. You're a bitch at that point. Like I have no use for you. And maybe that's too harsh, but that's who's to blame. That shit doesn't fly in any other part of the world except for the West. So the West has this fucking beta cuck sickness that you don't find in Japan, you don't find in Colombia, you don't find in Russia, you don't find in China, you don't find in fucking Turkey. You know
why? Those countries don't do women's lib.
100% right.
Women have the right to vote. They got to own their own business. They can do whatever the hell they want. But there's no, we're gonna go burn our bras and go streaking into the night.
I think the feminist indoctrination. Dude, this is gonna sound.
Gus, I'm gonna tell you the most controversial thing I've ever said.
Before you go there, let me say one last thing and tell me if I'm crazy. Does it really just come down to reproduction strategies?
It does.
Where these guys turn into beta cucks because they think it's gonna get them laid,
and it doesn't get them laid. Nothing dries a vagina faster than a beta cuck, my friend.
Or you become a slave. Like you're just her donkey and she's fucking the yoga instructor in the middle of the day anyway.
That's
like,
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Gus, I'll tell you this. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I said this one time before, but I'll say it again. I have the strategy to fix Western civilization. I could do it in 2 election cycles. In 2 election cycles, you can fix Western civilization. You know how you do it, Gus?
Fire away.
End women's suffrage.
that's a hard thing to execute only because they already have the power. That's like saying end alimony. Once you give someone a certain, and they have, as I said earlier, they have the majority, right? So once you give someone power like that, dude, I often joke around when I'm trying to pose like a fictional. If someone said, okay, guess what? Tall Greek guys get to start beating people on the streets with baseball bats and it's totally legal. Like I would never give that power up if you gave it to me. And I know that's like fictional hyperbole, but once you legalize certain things that are such a scam, like an alimony, like feminism, like free tampons, dude, it never ends. It's just, they keep going. Like you give them an inch and they take them out. It's hard to get it back because especially when they control the voter demographic, they've gotten this, dude. Oh God, I hate to go back to this, but they tried burning Kavanaugh off of lying about grabbing a tit 50 years ago. Like the power they've given the feminazis now. You think there would be honestly, what we need is women, real strong, smart women, to think about their sons and their fathers and their brothers and say enough. Like we need women to come on board and be like, yeah, this shit is fucking nuts. It's toxic. They're going after our kids. But again, I don't know how the suburban moms think. I don't know if they're like, yeah, girl power. I don't know.
I think they're afraid to come out against it at the fear of everyone else coming down on them. There's that hesitancy. They know. I think that they know and they don't like it, but at the same time, they just kind of, they thumb past it as it's in their feed, and this massive attempt to normalize these types of activities. I think that they truly do, but they're just afraid of the backlash, unfortunately. So I think that's where it has to change. Is that you're absolutely correct. We need the women to come out against normalizing these types of activities and trying to condition us to accept these things. It's ridiculous.
If you can't think about your fucking sons, think about your fucking daughters. They're trying to fucking normalize pedophilia. Like, wake the fuck up. What's going on out there? Like, it's the drag queen video we just watched. Wasn't that a little girl on there? Like, it was. Yeah. Forget. Okay, you have daddy issues, so you give your son dirty looks. Think about your fucking daughters. They're after the kids. Wake the fuck up. Like, think about your daughter on Epstein Island, for fuck's sake. Like, these people are fucked up, and women are, man, maybe they're just easily influenced. And V, I don't think you're crazy. I've heard that a few of my really savage buddies say the same shit. They're like, it all went downhill after we let them vote. Like,
dude, you get rid of women's suffrage in 2 election cycles. The Democratic Party implodes. All the liberal parties in Europe implode. The beta cucks go away, and the feminazis have disappeared. And the only thing that'll be left is the normal good women, and they'll understand, as normal good women usually do. They're like, look, you got to save civilization, right? And then we can reevaluate on everything, and then bring everything back. Like, we got to have some sort of an IQ test, something that has to get done in order to prevent this kind of shenanigans from ever happening again.
How about only taxpayers get to vote?
That's even better.
That shouldn't be controversial at all. You want to tell me how much of my money you're going to steal? You have to be throwing into the pot. Like, if you're not throwing into the pot, then why the fuck you get to vote on how much of my money you get to take every year? Like, fuck. Like, if only taxpayer, but that's the problem. The culture is going the exact opposite way, where they don't even think you need an ID to vote. Me and you are debating women and taxpayers. They're like, wait, no. Even if, like, you could get off a fucking plane from Somalia and vote. Like, they don't without an ID. Like, they're right. Dude, it's fucking lunacy, man. And you're right. It's the feminine imperative that is causing. It's the feminazis. It's the feminization of men. I think CJ nailed it. Even the women who are on board with us, they shame them into, like, oh my God, you love your husband, you love your kids, you cook dinner, you make lunch. Oh, you're such a fucking, well, like, they shame these women into not, thinking motherhood and being a good wife and being a good mother is like an embarrassing thing. It's like, fuck you, bitch. Meanwhile, you're playing with 30 cats. Like, fuck you. Like,
yeah.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. The kids are the line in the sand for me. Like, it's like, yeah, we've talked about it before. It's like, if we can't protect these fucking kids, man, what good are we? Seriously, it's like, fucking Christ, really. And that's shit like that has even made my brothers come on board. Like, yeah, they've gone too far. I've brought it up before. One of my younger brothers, my youngest brother, is a teacher, so he was kind of like in his mind, like a JFK Democrat kind of thing. But when you start, whenever I'm trying to get through to him, I'll just start feeding him like the fucking, oh look, dude, they're all pedophiles. Oh look, they're trying to give your kids estrogen. You're trying to give your sons my nephews estrogen pills. Like, wake the fuck up. And it's pretty effective. Because like I said, man, if we can't set a line in the sand for what they're trying to do to little kids, then we failed as men. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's our primary. It should be our primary job. And again, that's my disappointment with a lot of these. It's the beta cucks, dude. Well, you're right. I guess the initial problem is the feminazis and the beta cucks reacting to, this will get us laid. If I'm super sensitive and I quote the Notebook, this might give me some pussy. Like, maybe, is that really where your head's at? Women don't want fans. They want heroes. Like, if you're her fan, she's going to treat you like a fucking fan. So yeah, I love I love the way you prefaced it too. You're like, I'm going to say something kind of controversial.
I had to. I had to.
I've heard it before, dude. It was all downhill after we let him start voting. I've heard it before. It's but like I said, you guys know married women more than I do. You guys know mothers more than I do.
Dude, my better half is on board with that idea. We're gonna need your help. 97, dude, 95 to 97% of women they're so childlike, man. There's the 95. There's a solid 5% who are they listen like they're conservative, libertarian minded. They're sharp. They're they're focused. They're incredible. You got the other 95%. They're rolling into their late 20s, their 30s. They haven't got nothing going on in their life. They're just childlike, childish, and childlike, man.
No, I know. I bang a lot of them.
Exactly. They're all insecure. They're all about instant gratification. There's no foresight. There's no plan. There's no vision in their life. They require validation every 30 to 60 minutes. Yeah, they're very insecure. It's a lot of daddy issues. It's a lot of a lot of them lack any purpose. Like the feminazis convince them that having a family is lame and this and that. So there's a bunch of useless degrees, a bunch of stupid ass fucking marketing jobs or whatever that they all got. And then they look around and they don't have purpose. And by the time the light bulb goes, I've talked about this with you before, bro. By the time the light bulb goes off, your gynecologist doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, you have like a week left to have kids. Like it's the light bulb will go off and they'll realize that the feminazis lied to them. And the problem is too many times that makes them even more bitter. It's like, fuck, I can't have kids. I guess I'm gonna have to join this fucking feminist communist revolution. It's like, and that's the tragedy of it all. It's if you take the gloves off, most of these people who are screaming for kill all men, or we need to put the Project Veritas release the little beta cucks talking about re-education camps and shit. If you really unleashed some sort of armed conflict in the streets, these motherfuckers they cry when they fuck. These guys, motherfucker, you think you're gonna put me in a fucking gulag? Like I'll kill 1,000 of you. Like you think you're gonna force me in? No, are you fucking nuts? Like you've never shot a pistol in your life. You've never been in a fist fight. You cry when you fuck. I literally, I'll give you a noogie and an undie grundy and throw you in a high school locker to make you think they're all gonna get atomic wedgies. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And that's the irony of the whole thing. So when you think of things that are on their radar that we've been hearing about forever, that's why the First and Second Amendment are the two that disarming is part of the scam. If they can't disarm us and if we could still speak freely and we could possess weapons, they know they never stand a chance in hell. And that's why those two things are so important to them for eliminating it. Like, oh yeah, because dude, they're fucking. I've always said they're fucking nerds.
Yeah.
They're fucking nerds. It's any way you slice it. Doesn't matter if it's the fucking purple-haired barista, the fucking feminazi, the beta cuck. Take a look at them, and you tell me that that's the JFK crew you grew up. It's not. Those fucking dudes are gone. Like those guys are Republicans now. These people are fucking nerds, and that's what's. And it doesn't. You could just. I can't even be in a room with them anymore because they suck the energy out of the room. You have to watch what you say. You can't say boobs out loud. They might call you Hitler or something. Yeah, dude, seriously.
Look at how Chris Matthews was fired.
Right? Gone. He made a few communist jokes and they're like, you got to fucking go. Gone, dude. They eat their own, which ties into this whole thing about maybe you're right and they will splinter off, dude. This AOCS, they hate daddy, they hate men, they hate Christians. They're just, but again, the irony is they're fucking nerds. You strip away chivalry, you strip away it all, and Ilhan Omar is yelling at me at a bar. Be like, all right, bitch. I guess I'll treat you like they treat you back in Somalia and just grab you by the throat and throw you into the fucking street. Like, here you go. Welcome.
Throw off a building.
Yeah, here, let me treat you like they treat you back home, bitch. Like, you want to play that game? Like, that's the fucking thing. It's like the in the West, all the freedoms we give, all this and that, it's almost paradoxical because giving, like you said about taking the right to vote, you give them all this freedom, and then they come back and tell you they want to neuter your kids. It's like, excuse me. It's
what I'm saying, dude. At this point, I mean, there is a documented. It's very clear. It's very evidential. At this point, there is a clearly defined fifth column operating in this country. These fifth columnists are very wealthy individuals. They control organizations and groups. And at this point, Gus, I really believe, man, I really believe that it's about time we go after these guys in a very covert, militaristic fashion.
Have you guys went down the rabbit hole on a lot of like the MoveOn.org and all that?
Oh
shit?
Yeah, they're all funded by like these globalist organizations. Dude, this is sedition. This is treason. It's sedition. This is asymmetric warfare being conducted in our own country. We're having color revolutions, Gus. What we've seen in Eastern Europe, what we've seen in other parts of the world, happening here by the same NGOs that are funded by the same globalists. Let's just have SEAL Team 6 just show up in their bedroom in the middle of the night and put one right between their eyes.
I've actually seen when a lot of like the post-election, when a lot of the rioting and looting, quote unquote peaceful protesting was going on, where they would list like people take screenshots of it. It was like Craigslist ads for $15, $20, where they were actually recruiting people to come riot and loot on like Craigslist and shit. And I'm like, is this
$15 an hour? Come down and riot and loot.
Yeah, is this really fucking happening? Like they're literally there are organizations out there paying for fucking rioting and looting. Like, is that, and the fact we don't mow them down, like I think I've been wondering it for 6-7 years. I'm like, why are we allowing these people to throw Molotov cocktails through fucking store window? Why are we allowing these people to destroy property? Like if I have a cafe and I see some fucking commie in a mask about to throw a firebomb, that motherfucker's getting an AR through the face. Like he's literally trying to attack me and my family and my property. I'm mowing him down. And I don't even think that's controversial. That's like stand your ground shit. I'm not attacking anyone. He's literally throwing fucking firebombs at me. So I don't know, man. I don't know why more people don't see it, or maybe the media does such a great job not showing it that they shame them into not watching alternative media or Fox.
What the hell is this?
Oh. No, I'll let Gus finish your thought, and then I wanted to.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, no, like we've been watching the rioting and looting now for even while Obama was still in office, and I don't know how more people don't be like, enough, man. We got to start mowing these fucking fuckers down. Like, send in the SWAT team, send in something. Like, I don't know why more people aren't put their foot down. Shit. Like, is this what you want your neighborhood to be like, your country to be like, your community to be like? It's fucking nuts to me. It's totally fucking nuts to me. But the media doesn't show it. The media is like, again, we joke about they riot and loot. The media, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington, they all call it peaceful protesting. It's a total fucking scam. They lie about it. They don't show it. And the truth is, and I've been saying it for weeks. Don't worry about the virus. Worry about the commies in the streets. It's these commies that are going to drag you out of your house or riot and loot or kick your door down. It's not going to be the virus that gets you. It's going to be the zombies. Sorry, CJ, you had pulled something up.
No. I just wanted to share this real quick. And, speaking about like the media and not talking about the things that they don't want us to know about, there's an absolute great documentary on Netflix, and it's called The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. And it's a story that really needs to be told for those that, want big government, that think the government's going to protect us. And I'm going to admit it's a very, very difficult documentary to watch. I was so compelled after I watched like the first couple that I actually sent a message to one of the co-director and thanked her for telling this story, the story of Gabriel Fernandez, and how the entire system failed this young man, and the layers upon layers that failed to protect this child, even to the point where when it finally went to trial, not only did the prosecuting attorney go after the parents, but actually prosecuted 3 or 4 people from Child Protective Services. It's just, it's a
What
tragic.
happened?
Okay, yeah,
Can you break down the story?
Yeah, Gabriel.
Yeah.
So Gabriel was an 8-year-old boy, and he was tortured from the moment that he got to his mom at birth gave him away. He lived with, I believe it was an aunt or an uncle that loved him. For whatever reason, he ended up back with the mom, and her husband or boyfriend at that time beat this child to death. And it happened after several, a few years, several incidents of people reporting, things to Child Protective Services or alerting the police that, hey, we need to check on this child. And from the moment at the beginning of it, it just kind of grabs you when you start watching it. But yeah, man, I think, talking about protecting the children, like, Gabriel's story needs to be shared and people understand these things. And these are the things that are occurring.
She looks like a wicked little cunt too.
Yeah, it's tragic. It really is. I'm not going to lie, guys. But my point of sharing is that I think that people need to be aware of this shit that's happening, in these cities, in these municipalities. We have all these government agencies and everything that are supposed to be there to assist. But where was the community? Where was the community that saw this kid walking around potentially, and he had black eyes, and it's just a tragedy. You have to watch it to get the full scope of it. But yeah, it's a great documentary.
Well, man, and this spits in the face of. So when I hear a story about even like doesn't matter if it's anytime I hear like the Hollywood pedophile shit, right? My first thought is, how the fuck did these parents allow their children into these predatory circles in the first place? Like if my parents were squirmish about letting me have sleepovers anywhere, they're like, we don't know these fucking people. Are you fucking crazy? Like, so when I hear about these stories about these kids getting molested, abused, this, that, I'm like, is this all just come down to like a failure in parenting, and where the kid, how the fuck can you expose your children to a lot of this shit? I don't know if you guys remember the movie, was it Borat, or one of the Borat movies, maybe not Borat, but one of those movies where he was looking for child models, and he was interviewing some of these moms who enter their kids and have child actors or beauty pageants or whatever. And he's like, yes, we're going to play it. And he's being totally sarcastic and applying hyperbole. And he's like, yeah, we're going to have the child play with a bunch of bees, and maybe they'll get stung. And they're like, he's like, well, I'm playing with power tools. We might put them in a bulldozer. And the parents just nodding their head. Like, they want the kid, they want that paycheck from the commercial or whatever, or they want the kid to be famous or win the beauty pageant or whatever, that they sign off on it. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, he can handle it. And it's like, dude, there's a sickness, man. There's a fucking sickness going on. And I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But when it comes to the kids, like I said, I have no patience for it. It's one in the old 100 years ago, there wouldn't have even been a fucking trial. They would put him in the corner of the village, and the firing squad, or a family member would just slit his throat. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
The cops will look the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, you beat up a pedophile. Okay, cool.
Yeah, later. Bye. Like, I don't know how we've gone this far to where, have you guys ever seen True Detective season 1?
No, I heard that was good.
Dude, it's incredible. Season
Tell me
1,
about it.
It's 2 detectives in Louisiana that are trying to uncover this pedophilia mass murdering ring. It's McConaughey and Woody Allen. It literally might be the best season of television I've ever seen. McConaughey and or not Woody Allen, Woody Harrelson. They both hit fucking home runs, and it's about pedophilia and serial killing of kids. And it is,
wow.
It's on HBO. They fucked up the last 2. They always flop out the actors every season, so they're like on season 3 or 4 now, and it sucked ever since season 1. But season 1 is one of the best years, and it really is about kids, protecting kids. These fucking and it's really
Hey, Marshala Ali, he's in there, huh?
well. That's like season 3 or something, or season 4.
Nice.
Like I said, that's season 1 right there. It's these 2 detectives. One of them's a family guy. The other one's lost his wife and kid. But it's all about tracking down pedophilia and serial killers. It's this in Louisiana, very high. A lot of people are involved, not only the serial killers, but a lot of the politicians, the money, blah blah blah. It's literally the best season of television you might ever see. Fucking
Holy
fantastic!
shit, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, True Detective season 1. It's worth it. Trust me. And it's only 10 episodes or whatever, but it will draw you in like a motherfucker. And it's the world is. And it dives into like the philosophy, like the world is a fucking dark place, man. And that's me and you talk about all the time. When you and I'll argue with some of my friends and relatives who are more, hippie-ish, flower power, peace bullshit. It's like you need real men, you need savages, you need alphas to protect you from the darkness.
Correct.
And that's why I even brought up True Detective. Watch that thing. Like those guys are both fucking bad motherfuckers. And one of the quotes is something like that. Like you need men like that to protect you from the real evil in the world. It's why my favorite angel is fucking Michael, Archangel Michael, general of fucking God's armies. It's like,
right.
You need fucking, the world's a dark place. There are sick, twisted. I wish I could be more optimistic, but everything I've seen in the world is like, God damn, it's fucking brutal out there. And if you take away, you neuter the men of your society, it's over. It's over. There's nothing to protect you from the real predators out there.
Exactly. That is the whole entire thing, man. It's like one of the things that freaking liberals and these academians and these idiots who've been, basically, in academia, stuck reading papers and with their thumbs up their rear ends, is this: the world has always been and will always be governed by aggressive force. That is it. There will always be war, and that's why guys were like the far extreme of the anarcho-capitalist guys. Like, I didn't want any borders and no government and this and I'm like, dude, if you don't want any of that, then what's going to happen is a bunch of bad dudes are going to come up. They're going to beat the shit out of you and take your stuff.
That's what happens, and that's why I'm more stuck in the libertarian side, not the anarcho-capitalist side.
Exactly.
What they don't understand is that if all the tribes are spread out and there is no governing structure, then the more powerful tribes will simply consolidate and conquer your ass.
Exactly. And that's human nature.
Dude, every single region of the world you study, that's what occurs. If your tribe cannot defend itself and cannot, then if they're like, oh, there is no government. If there's no government, a bunch of animals are just going to knock on your door, kill you, and take your shit. It doesn't matter what part of the world, dude. The Greek city-states, England, the Mongols in China, like everybody. No matter. Dude, the strong will knock on your Africa. Look at Africa. The history of Africa is just fucking warlords and tribes. It's all these tribes just fucking conquering each other. Fuck you. You need some sort of consolidated strength to protect your gates. It's not complicated. It never has been complicated. And when the anarcho-capitalists, their success is contingent, kind of like commies. Their success is contingent by everyone agreeing to that rule. It's like, oh yeah, this everyone's utopia. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. Not everyone plays by that rule, dude.
Nobody. Human nature does not adhere to that because you have the psychotic and the sociopathic that will always rise to exploit a situation like that.
They smell weakness, and that is the best word. Exploitation is the word. They'll say, "Oh, you guys are unarmed. Oh, you believe in peace and love and voluntary."
Yeah, we're complete anarchists and we're capitalists. The free market will dictate borders. It's the free movement of goods and people, and I believe in the non-aggression principle because I will not be aggressive towards anything or anyone.
That's why I'm more in the libertarian, or even
Hell
if they want to say minarchist, like small government, you need missiles pointed. You need rifles. You need there's no way around it, dude. People,
absolutely.
The bigger, more power, the bigger,
Gus,
more powerful tribe will sack your shit.
Let's be honest here. Most of these anarcho-capitalists are a bunch of yuppie white kids who grew up in soft, cushy Western world, have no idea the brutality that they face. They have no idea.
No, well, and you can't, again, kind of like communism. Communism is contingent upon when you hear them explain communism, like the Bernie bros, they're like, oh yeah, and everyone's equal and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, no sociopathic dictator would rise from it at all. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, and the anarcho stuff is kind of the same. It's like, dude, not everyone leaves everyone alone. It's just that's not the way, no, that's not the way the world works.
What school did you go to?
Well, you can't study history and not understand that there's always conflict, where it's about stealing resources, labor, wealth, territory, whatever. And it is what it is, dude. I wish it was different, but it's not. I have to acknowledge reality, and that's how I base my life based on reality, not how, fingers crossed, this is how I think it should be. But yeah, like I said, it's fucking dark out there, dude. The world is fucking dangerous and dark, and you have to have a certain amount of strength and endurance and moral fortitude to deal with it.
Exactly right. Gus, we're at the end of the show, bro.
Dude, another interesting week. I'm sure we'll have another one coming up. They're not boring times, that's for sure.
No, they're not, man. No. They're not at all. Gus, thank you for being on, folks. Again, check them out, perpetualassets.com. Don't let the coronavirus dampen your 401k. Call Perpetual Assets today. Let them help you out, show you the way. Grab your balls, grab life by the horns, and make something out of it. Call Gus and Will Lear over at perpetualassets.com. And with that being said, El Cuco, take us away.